Oi, oi! It is a new year, but some things just don't change, right? We're still betting on Cheltenham. I hope you all had fantastic festive periods, great New Year's, and I wish everyone the very best for 2024. Big thank you to all of you loyal subscribers, followers, likers, commenters, the lot who have supported me over the years. 2017 kicked this off when my son was born as something to do, and look at us now. We're flying high. Big thanks to all the new subscribers too. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you do. Right, without further ado, do-do-dos, how many do's in there? We got two anti-post bets struck in this video. As you may have been able to tell from the thumbnail, I may have put it in the title too. William Hill have gone on 1-0 bets, and the two things you can guarantee are William Hill going on 1 money back, and secondly, people moaning about the percentage of the book. So just to touch on that very, very quickly, get a grip, right? You need to look at the market and understand that, yes, hypothetically, they're pricing it as though the race is run tomorrow. It may be 200, 300, 400%, because a lot of the horses aren't going to go there. So do yourselves a favor. If you can't already price up a market, start learning how to do it. Look at particular races, work out in your head who you think lines up, and based on everything you know right now, how would you price that market? This will help you to understand what the final field may look like, what could potentially be deemed as value and what might not be, and especially with those horses that could or could not go to a target. The non-runner money back enhances the value in the fact that you are betting 3 months in advance, water to go under the bridge, yet they're giving you the opportunity to get your money back. Of course, that has to be factored into the price. There will be reductions potentially on top prices, but one of the bets I've struck is 2 points shorter than you can get. I don't think you can really get it anyway. You don't get the cash out option, but oh, Christ almighty, we are in. Right. So I'll be a bit quicker with this one. I don't like to do these videos too long because, well, maybe people don't want to listen for too long. We're going to just crack on with it, right? I'll do them in the right order. One is, I'm just going to pull it up, right? I'm going to get abuse for this. So just keep it clean, stick all your abuse in the comments, voice your opinion in there. But this is it, right? It's a game of opinions, and I am confident that I've done the right thing in both of these instances. Right, ready, shock, boom. Facile Vega for the Arkle, 6-1, and I've had £100 each way. It's a fifth of the odds for 3 places. How does that one feel? How does that one sit with you guys, right? Obviously, in the wake of Patrick riding Facile Vega and him getting beat, Marine National making his chase debut, it was the perfect storm to shake up the Arkle market. Now, I'm not saying that Marine National does not deserve to be favourite off the back of the events that have transpired. However, I think it's very harsh, and I think it's quite naive, probably stupid of people to be writing Facile Vega off the back of that run, right? Yes, people are trying to get to the point now of saying he needs bottomless ground. He can't do anything on good ground. Marine National, it's in his favour and it's good ground. I don't know why people would talk like that. But my point is, right, go back, watch the horse. He handles whatever ground you want. Maybe there's a slight preference if there was a bit more ease in the ground than if it was rock hard road. But when we come to Cheltenham and we're talking day one, it's going to be nice racing ground. The ground was not the reason that Marine National beat him in Cheltenham, and it's also not the reason that Facile Vega got beat in Cheltenham. The ground was fine. The ground is fine for both of them, right? So let's just dispel that myth. However, it was tough going, wasn't it? We've seen lots of results over the Christmas period where horses didn't necessarily do as much as you might think. Probably some disappointing efforts in there. Look, it's a race that completely and utterly needs a line put through it. You cannot believe the form of that race actually does stand up. How the horses in front of him, I mean, I would have liked to forgive Sharjah for the fact of it, because I actually thought he jumped all right, to be fair. Finished in front of Facile Vega. But you look at the ones in front, they shouldn't really have been able to do what they did to him on all known form. So I think it's clear to see that everyone didn't see the best Facile Vega in that run. And yes, I am being forgiven. But if we try and look at the race as well in terms of how it might cut up, how things could play, there is talk that he may step up in trip, right? I don't believe that will happen before Cheltenham. Who knows? It might happen. I thought Appreciate was nailed on for an Arkle. Non-runner money back, right? We have the luxury that if he doesn't make it to Cheltenham, if they go for another target, we get that money back. Now, should Gaelic Warrior divert back to the Arkle market? Jesus, I mean, it'd be an unbelievable shake-up. He's 5-2 currently at the price of recording for the non-runner money back. Yes, he hasn't been beaten, and yes, he's been emphatic in all his chase starts, but doesn't mean he's definitely going to go there. And it doesn't mean that the 5-2 about him wouldn't seem a bit crazy one way or the other if he did go there. Mr. Policeman was pretty poor, wasn't he? Blood Destiny might go there. Elete Toms, I think they've been stepping that horse up in trip. Founder 50 will obviously go there. But I think when you're just starting to look at how the race is going to stack up, right, you have got the likes of a Master Chewy, who is going to probably be the best British 2-miler. Is he really worthy of his 150? Well, I think he's a very nice horse, but would he go and win an Arkle? I don't know. I just don't think there's much depth to the race. I don't even think there'll be that many runners, right? We might get enhanced places on the day. There might be firms doing promotions, which obviously you need to think about. But I can still see this coming a matchup in March of Facile Vega versus Marine Nationale. I'm getting three places at fifth of the odds, 6-1 for this horse to finish in the top three. And yes, if he did what he did at Christmas at Leopardstown and finish last, I'm in a world of pain, aren't I? But I just cannot see how this horse goes off bigger than 6-1 if he actually does make it to the Arkle. Obviously, we'll find out what happens at the Dublin Racing Festival as well. We don't know what's going to happen, right? But if some issue comes to light, we've got the non-runner money back concession. I think it's well worth tying up some money in Facile Vega. I want to get him on the books. I think it's okay. Yes, I'm having to forgive the run. Yes, it might end up a losing bet in terms of the fact he might not win the race, but I can't see how he's out the first three should he run, which is why £100 each way has gone on Facile Vega for the Arkle. In the non-running money back Arkle, yes, this is the one that's going to divide opinions and cause dispute left, right, and centre, but I don't care. I'm confident it's the right thing to do. Again, these are me telling you what I've bet. These are me showing you my stakes, showing you my money that's in there. Very different to what a lot of other people will do with their opinions of it, right? So that's not to say that they've got it wrong or they've got it right. I'm not showing you this to say, go and do exactly the same as me. I'm just telling you where my head is at from a betting, punting, and possibly a sensible approach perspective, right? We're all looking to build a book for Cheltenham. We all probably want to do something in every single market if we can. There are times to go in and there are times to not. I think the time right now is to strike on Facile Vega. What would have happened if Facile Vega had dotted up in that grade one and Marina had won his beginner's chase exactly the same as he did, right? They would have probably been 2-1 joint favourites, something similar to that. I know that's not what happened, but Marine Nationale being cut off the back of Facile Vega running a bad run isn't really crediting him with what he deserves to be credited with. And I think a horse off the back of a beginner's chase, just because his main rival looks like he's fluffed his lines a little bit, it's very short of a horse for me, but looks a very nice prospect. We've talked too much about him. Second bet that's gone up, non-runner money back, it's for me. And the main reason I've done this non-runner money back is he's a general 10-1 poke. So yes, you can get cash outs, but I feel like safety with this one, right? He is going to run in the Supreme. As far as I'm concerned, he is Willie Mullins' number one Supreme hope as we currently stand, right? I have done the I do the weekly column on there where I'm talking about an anti-post like insight, and that is a bet that I put up this week. I talk in there in more depth, but to quickly skim through it, right? A lot of you will all be like, yes, you're just jumping on the back of the Caldwell Potter form line, which to an extent I am. But also, I think a lot of us would have watched his debut where he travelled all over Caldwell Potter. Caldwell Potter started to ride, and all of a sudden we think, oh, well, let's see what Ifsami's got. Wearing the hood, picked up, went clear. It was a good performance, right? No way in the world, in my mind, does Caldwell Potter ever reverse that form. But I think when we watched that, we all thought, well, Willie's probably got a handful, a couple, a few more better Supreme hopes. So we waited, right? And that's what I've done here. I've waited. But let's just look at the facts of what he's done, right? He's beaten Caldwell Potter, a two-time winner after, and obviously when he won a grade one, yes, they were swimming in that race, but is what it is. That future champion novices hurdle has always been a very good pointer for very good horses in the future. Terrible pointer for a Supreme winner. So appreciate it was the last one to buck the trends as a 6-year-old. He's the only ever 6-year-old of the future champion novices hurdle, and he went and won a Supreme as a 7-year-old. The Supreme does look a bit of a windy one this year. We could have a live wire type result that happens there, but I'm just saying that the future champion novices form, when you get the likes of like your Mighty Potters, you get Facile Vegas going and winning it, there is form that ties in with those horses that can probably sometimes point you towards the Supreme winner. So Caldwell Potter ranking the form is no way, in any way, shape or form, a possible negative to be seen against this for me. It's a positive. He posted an RPR of 141 that day. Let's put this into context, right? Of the last 10 Supremes, on a hurdle debut, so first time over hurdles, the only horse that's won a Supreme that did a bigger first time out number is Constitution Hill. Now, there are horses that have done close numbers to it. Altior did 140. Shishkin was 141, so the same. Duvan was 143, but had 2 spins in France over hurdles. Vitor was 140. Listen to the names I just said. Constitution Hill, Altior, Shishkin, Duvan, Vitor. Now, you may think, hang on a minute, this is a horse wearing a hood. It was favourite for a bumper or potentially vying for favouritism as a bumper, possibly flopped out. Well, did he flop out? He was 5th, beaten 5 3/4 lengths. I mean, he ticks a lot of boxes. He only had 1 bumper run before he went to Cheltenham. There's been a few that Willie's done that with. I remember Briar Hill won at 25. He's had 1 spin before. Went off 2-1 favourite for Albert Bartlett. This horse is bred for 2 miles, right? Gin Coco's in the family. It's an absolute out-and-out 2 mile. And the way he travelled in that race, even with being a little bit keen in that maiden hurdle, my God, I think this horse is good, right? Again, to put it in some level of context, Jericho de Repene, who I do think has got untapped potential. If he has got an engine and he's able to travel like he does so slowly, I think he's a real good horse. But we all know, everyone's saying, right, the price that he is probably short enough. A few people should be on at 20s or biggers. I'm talking about the book now as it stands, right? He posted an RPR of 120 and 133. He's been given an official rating of 132. Let that sink in. The current Supreme Novices favourite at the same year that it's going to be run, so a few months away from the festival, is rated 132. Cheese! Now, Willie Mullins has got Mirazur West, and people are going to say, oh, let's draw a line for it. Daddy Long Length, the ground was too bad. People are going to start making excuses for the ones in behind. We don't need to make an excuse for it to me. He is Willie Mullins' #1 charge as far as I'm concerned. I think he's a proper horse. I think it's a real decent, strong foundation for making a case for the horse. We'll see what he does after. And I know a lot of people will say the hood's probably not ideal. LeBake won a Supreme. Champagne Fever, who dogged an Arkle, won a Supreme, right? It's not ideal. I get that. But again, this may not be an absolute running, flying bad boy, super Supreme that we've been used to, like a Constitution Hill and Shishkins and those years. We do have sometimes semi-standard ones or substandard ones. And I don't mind it, to be honest with you. We've always seen the Supreme winner by now. So there isn't an unraced horse that should come out and win. I know A Dream to Share, people will still say maybe he'd come back and do it, but I'm not buying into that. Again, bad year could happen, but he's a shorter price than It's For Me, who I think is just going to go and just dot up next time out, probably Moscow Flyer or something like that, and just win the Supreme. So 10-1 for me is a massive price. Yes, again, it's another race where there'll be loads of concessions and things on the day, but I'm more than happy while he's the price that he is, because I can only see him shortening. Imagine Willie Mullins' best charge in the Supreme is a 10-1 boat, which won't happen, will it? He's good value as far as I'm concerned. We've got the concession of non-runner money back should anything happen to him, fitness-wise, injury-wise, or anything like that. I think the time to strike is right now, which is why I've done so. So that is bet 8 and bet 9. Be double figures coming up soon. So that's it, right? Again, appreciate all your guys' support. Let me know in the comments below what you think about both of them. I mean, I'm happy to take it as much as I dish it out. I don't really think I dish it out, though. Again, it's a game of opinions, right? The whole point of a market being formed, the whole way that we get to enjoy this sport is we have to have difference of opinions, right? Yes, we might be able to sell a story and sell a case that we all come around to the same point of it. I would like to think that I'm right in the majority of occasions, but then most people would that are punting. If you're trying to do it seriously, you have to sort of back yourself. So I'm more than happy with the stakes and the bets that I've struck for these ones. So they feel like a comfortable level with it. Again, I'm not saying because I've put the money that I've put on, you should do exactly the same. I just think you should think about these 2 particular selections. And like I said, the Facile Vega one is for me. I'm happy to tie £200 up from now till March because I don't see him all of a sudden he's turned into a bad horse for one run and he goes off at 10-1 and as an Arkle, and I should have had a bigger price and all this. I still even think with the place terms I've got, it's not a bad bet. And I do think It's For Me is the #1 Willie Mullins charge at the moment. And I just think, like I say, at the time that he won, everyone knew it was an impressive performance. But again, we just thought something better might come out. Doesn't look like anything has. So let's rewind and look back to what the best hurdling performance has been in Ireland on debut. And I think It's For Me has done that. So wrap it up now. Please make sure you do like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's loads of content coming up, so stay tuned for us to get excited.